Hello, my friends. I am truly excited to show you my latest addition to the library. My friend Mike Gadosh over at Solid Ground Christian Books. Solid Ground Christian Books. He has an amazing deal going on for some G.K. Beale and D.A. Carson commentary. These books right here, this commentary on the New Testament using the Old Testament, a New Testament biblical theology, and the handbook on the New Testament use of the Old Testament, they normally sell for $150. $150. But on his website, I'm not even going to tell you the price, but it is almost half off. Almost half off. You have got to get to his website quickly because this sale is ending soon. And these, all three of them are cheaper on his website than anywhere else on the internet. Cheaper than eBay, cheaper than Amazon, cheaper than christianbook.com. He has all three of these at the cheapest possible price on the internet. And what I'm going to show you is these can be used anytime, anywhere, for any reason. If you're just wanting to increase your understanding of the Bible as a Christian, if you are looking to be an elder in your church or an apologist to better prove the Bible, or if you are entering into actual undergraduate or graduate studies as a seminary student in order to pursue ministry as a profession, all of these will be accepted by your professors, bar none. G.K. Beale is an outstanding scholar for our time. This he wrote by himself. Let me show you this very quickly, all by itself. This is over 1,000 pages. 1,000 pages. New Testament Biblical Theology by G.K. Beale. And of course, it has been endorsed and read by some of the greatest scholars. Thomas Schreiner from Southern Baptist Theological Seminary. G.K. Beale himself is from University of Cambridge and a New Testament professor for many years at Westminster Theological Seminary. The wealth, the treasure trove in here cannot be understated. This is his magnum opus, as they call it. I'm going to show you quickly just the table of contents. The biblical theology of the New Testament is going to be something that you're going to study one way or the other, whether you're just a layperson or whether you're a seminary student. And all three of these, now this is the other set that I was telling you about, the other book, commentary on the New Testament use of the Old Testament. This work here that you're looking at had not been previously done. This is kind of a first for commentary in the Christian world. Now, I'm going to show you again just the table of contents because it is massive. Massive. Let me show you also some of the contributors. These are some of the people that helped write it. Mark Seafried from Southern Baptist Theological Seminary. D.A. Carson. Of course, G.K. Beale. I. Howard Marshall. I'm going to remember that name because I'm going to get to that in just a second. Here's something else that you're going to find in this book. The abbreviations for all of the sources they cited when they wrote this commentary. It goes on for like 9 pages. The amount of sources they cited, the New Testament, Greek, the Latin works, the Hebrew, the ancient church fathers, and then all kinds of different works. You see all these works they cite. And here are the abbreviations that they use throughout. So when you get to different parts, so say you're in Mark, and they're citing something, there's going to be abbreviations for when they cite that. And there's just a tremendous, tremendous amount of work. So like, we get to the end of John. Here's the bibliography for the commentary that they wrote. Look at this bibliography. This is work that is, first of all, this list right here is solid, right? This is worth money right here. Just knowing the solid work that was used to even help create this solid work. The commentary here was also helped by some of the work here, the bibliography. Look at this bibliography. It's like 8 pages just for John. And then you get to Acts and Romans and so on and so forth. And this, I want to show you this real quick. I have many textbooks. I'm just about to finish my bachelor's, and of course I have a large library. I'll have to show that to you in another video, but I want to show you something. This book is massive. It is almost 16 inches when it is laying flat. It's about 10.5 inches tall. I only have one other book in my entire library that is bigger than this, and that's my Strong's Concordance. And it's because it's an older version. It's a large print version. Most of the Strong's Concordances printed nowadays are not even this big. But this is a massive tome. And it comes with this handbook of the New Testament use of the Old Testament. Will help you understand exactly what's in here. This is a very condensed, obviously, as you can see, a very condensed version of what you're going to find in here. And it'll help you navigate it. And so you know that you have something serious on your hands here when this book, this tome, how big it is, it's almost 1,300 pages. It's right at 1,300 pages. This is so big and so dense, the material is so rich that it has to come with a handbook to help you understand this. This is like a mini guidebook, the instruction manual almost, if you will, to understand this. All 3 of these books that I just showed you, the commentary on the New Testament use of the Old Testament, the handbook that goes with it, and the New Testament biblical theology are a prized possession for any library. You can get them at solidgroundchristianbook.com. solidgroundbooks.com. See that? Go there quickly, because he's probably going to run out of stock and he's going to have to cut the sale off because it's such a good price. Now, very quickly, while we're on this subject, I want to show you a few things that I have picked up over the years that if you are interested in attending seminary, if you're interested in studying the Bible to go into a undergraduate program for an associate's or a bachelor's, I can show you some things that are solid that'll help you. The Interpreter's Bible Commentary Set. This comes in a set of 10, I believe. This is an older version. They've reprinted it now, but it deals with a lot of the Hebrew for the Old Testament. It has great commentary. It has a slightly odd layout where it actually has the scripture and then the commentary. It's kind of a weird layout, but it's solid commentary. Professors will accept it. They'll like it. And you can't go wrong with it. The Interpreter's Bible Commentary. You can get that on like christianbook.com and other websites. I'm going to stick with commentary for right this second and show you something else. The Tyndale New Testament Commentary Series. TNTC, the Tyndale New Testament Commentary Series. It comes in a green. This Romans by F.F. Bruce, that's going to help you. Professors are going to like that. And this is going to be a great commentary for you to learn from and be able to use. Also, the Reformed Expository Commentary. This one is by Acts. They don't have the whole set just yet, the whole Bible, but they have most of the Bible completed. But Acts by Derek Thomas. If you don't know who Derek Thomas is, you got to check him out. But Derek Thomas, Acts commentary from the Reformed perspective, an expository, solid. Also, I want to show you the Wycliffe. You may not know about this. This is from the Southwestern Company from 1962. The Wycliffe Bible Commentary. Let me show you this real quick, because this is kind of a rare. Don't see it very much. But it's solid Bible commentary. I've used it in both my associates and my bachelor's. You'll like it. It's great learning. It also deals with the Hebrew quite a bit in the Old Testament. Now, some of the contributors, again, Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, the people who helped contribute to this commentary are solid people. I'm not going to go through all the names, but copyright 1962 Moody Bible Institute. This is something, if you can find it online or if you can get a hold of it, that's solid commentary that you can use. And then, of course, possibly one of the best, the Matthew Henry commentary. Now, this is an older version that was printed where it's the entire commentary by Matthew Henry in one volume. One volume edition, commentary on the whole Bible by Matthew Henry, Genesis to Revelation. This is from kind of the Reformed perspective. Very conservative theology. You're going to like it. Professors are going to like it. Now, this is at the undergraduate level for associates and bachelors. They'll like that. If you get into like doctoral work, it may not be scholarly enough, but by the time you get there, you will have some more commentary. Now, moving on to systematic theologies, some things that you will be able to use. And again, you're going to go through systematic theology classes no matter what college you go to, so long as it's within conservative orthodoxy. Christian Theology by Millard Erickson. This is conservative, and it's going to be solid. It's 1,000 pages. That's Christian Theology by Millard Erickson. That's something that people are going to like. Now, before you get mad about this, Renewal Theology, Systematic Theology from Charismatic Perspective, J. Rodman Williams. While this may not be from the Reformed perspective, it is still within conservative orthodoxy. And it's not, liberal. Substitutionary atonement and things like that are discussed. And of course, it's 1,500 pages, 1,500 pages of theology. And to be honest with you, the main issues would just have to deal with some of the charismatic gifts, speaking in tongues and those sorts of things, where that may be advocated for in here and it may not be advocated for in other systematic theologies. But that's not really the issue here. What is that you can get this for like $20, even though it retails for $69.99. You can get it for like $20, and it's a source to be cited and used and learned from in all of your classes when you go to any kind of Bible college or seminary. Of course, one of the rocks that you can always lean on and use, John Calvin's Institute of the Christian Religion. The Institutes of the Christian Religion by John Calvin. You can't go wrong here. Always usable in every sense. And then also, Thomas Oden's Systematic Theology, Classic Christianity. Classic Christianity by Thomas Oden. Remember this. This is, again, almost 1,000 pages of a systematic theology, conservative, orthodox theology. Professors are going to like. Very quickly, a couple of other things I want to show you. If you're planning on going to an associate's or bachelor's of any kind that's Bible related, you're going to end up taking a history of Christianity course. I've actually ended up using this book in both my associates and my bachelor's. It's very likely you'll end up using it too. This is a solid work. Tony Lane, The Concise History of Christian Thought. And it covers, the old church fathers from the birth of the New Testament church up until recently, and like the Reformed tradition. So this part on your left is before the 1500s, and so this would come after the first 1500s. You see what I'm saying? Rudolf Bultmann and some of the big major players in church history. This is also a very similar book. It's a little bit bigger, contains more content. Readings in Christian Thought. Again, I've used this in both of my associate and bachelor's classes regarding church history. And what I mean by that is both of these texts that I just showed you were assigned reading from both schools. Both schools were very different, but yet the content is still the same. So, Reformation and post-Reformation work, you'll end up discussing, you'll end up writing about, no matter what, school you go to. Which leads me to this point, too. Here's two texts that I've ended up using. Encountering the Old Testament by Bill Arnold, Brian Bear. This is something that you're going to be assigned for your Old Testament class, a survey of the Old Testament, an overview of the Old Testament, and then the New Testament version, Encountering the New Testament. That's something that I have used in both associates and bachelors. You will end up probably being assigned this very text. If you can get it cheap now, used, go ahead and get it. And then lastly, if, again, you're preparing for Bible college to become a pastor, let me show you real quick. This just came out last year, Hermeneutics to Exegesis. So this is helping to understand how to properly interpret the Bible in its context using an exegesis and not an eisegesis. You can get this used. This is a great book. Professors are going to like it. It's going to help you understand how to do it better. And then expository preaching, Stephen Alford. This is one of the bedrocks of preaching homiletics classes. If you're taking any sort of preaching preparation class for expository preaching, you're going to love it. This is going to help you. This is going to be a part of your library, a mainstay for years to come. Stephen Alford, Anointed Expository Preaching. And those are just some of the books that I want to show you and share with you that have helped me get through both my associates and bachelors in Bible college. Something that you may consider doing. If you are, go back, watch this video, pause on these books, jot them down, put them on your Amazon wish list, on your cart, because they're going to help you in every way, spiritually, academically, and I pray that it's a blessing to you.